White opens with a flank pawn, leading to a dynamic balance. A slight inaccuracy, but the game remains balanced. Black responds with a knight, but a slight inaccuracy shifts the advantage to white. The board is still fluid. White develops a knight, maintaining the slight advantage and solidifying their position. Good development. Black advances a pawn too, weakening the kingside. This is a slight inaccuracy, giving white a clearer edge. White plays a slightly inaccurate move that allows black to equalize. The structure is still developing. Black develops the bishop too, a solid and accurate move that maintains the dynamic balance. Good piece play. White mirrors black's development with accurately maintaining the equality. Both sides are castling soon. Black castles, securing their king. This is a solid move, keeping the game in a balanced state. White also castles, a solid move that keeps the game balanced. Both kings are now safe. Black advances, a slight inaccuracy. White maintains a small but persistent advantage. White plays, solidifying central control and maintaining their slight advantage. Good central pawn push. Black develops the knight too, a solid move that maintains the current slight advantage for white. White develops a knight too, a solid move that maintains their slight advantage. Good piece coordination. Black pushes, a solid move that maintains the existing slight advantage for white. The center is contested. White plays a solid move that maintains their slight advantage. The central pawn structure is now established. Black plays a slight inaccuracy that increases white's advantage. The position becomes more complex. White's is a mistake, significantly reducing their advantage. This move seems passive and questionable. Black's is a mistake, giving back the advantage to white. The queen might be misplaced here. White plays a solid move that maintains their slight advantage, preparing for further expansion. Black captures a slight inaccuracy. White's advantage grows, pushing towards a pawn-up situation. White recaptures a slight inaccuracy. White still holds a strong advantage, close to a pawn-up. Black moves the knight too, a slight inaccuracy. White's advantage is now significant, essentially a pawn-up. White plays a solid and accurate move maintaining their clear pawn-up advantage. Good positional play. Black moves the rook too, a slight inaccuracy. White's advantage remains very strong. White's is a slight inaccuracy, but white maintains a clear advantage. The bishop creates threats. Black plays a solid move, but white's advantage remains very strong. Good defensive maneuvering. White's is a slight inaccuracy. The advantage is still significant, but white's piece coordination could improve. Black plays a solid move. White's advantage holds, and the game continues with positional pressure. White plays a solid move. White maintains their advantage, aiming to increase pressure on the open file. Black captures a solid move. The pawn structure is altered, but white's advantage persists. White recaptures a solid move. White maintains their slight advantage and controls key central squares. Black develops the knight too, a solid move. White's advantage remains substantial. White plays a solid move. White consolidates their advantage, putting pressure on black's position. Black's is a severe blunder. This move loses significant material and gives white a decisive advantage. White plays a solid move. White maintains the decisive advantage, capitalizing on black's mistake. Black's is a severe blunder. This move loses more material, solidifying white's decisive winning position. White captures a solid move. White solidifies their decisive advantage, a clear piece up. Black moves, a solid defensive effort. White's decisive advantage remains overwhelmingly strong. White plays, a solid move. White's decisive advantage grows, further restricting Black's options. Black's is a slight inaccuracy. White's decisive advantage is now overwhelming. White plays, a solid move. White's overwhelming advantage continues to build, suffocating Black's play. Black's is a severe blunder, allowing White to further dominate. White's advantage is now decisive. White plays, a solid move. White's overwhelming advantage is cemented, with victory almost assured. Black's is a mistake. White's overwhelming advantage continues to grow significantly. White captures, a solid move. White maintains their overwhelming advantage, approaching a certain win.